What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video today. I am at home. If you didn't see my quiz video, which I would highly recommend you guys check out if you're more than just a Madden fan. I know some of you guys just like Madden, but if you actually like football too, some of those quiz videos are fun to kind of test your knowledge. So if that's up your alley, check them out. If not, I totally understand. We're going over a team that does need a rebuild. I am back home, though. It was the whole point of me starting that last sentence because I talked about it in my quiz video. I have shaved via request of the comment section. It was disgusting. I was aware. I did it even before, but I need to get the video out. And it happened to be pre-shave. I look disgusting. People always talk like, oh, you're supposed to buy Manscaped when you're a prepubescent boy. I'm like, not. I shave so it doesn't look awful. It's the whole point. Anyway, I'm back home. I got the thing behind me. That's called a, why am I going brain dead on what that's called? It's an electrical box. I don't know why I was being stupid. Am I thinking of another name for it? I don't know. A lot of weird rambling going on at the beginning of this, but yeah, I'm back home. So if the quality's down a peg, it's only for 2 weeks. I'll be back normal quality, but if there are technical difficulties over these next 2 weeks, my laptop is a piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's on its last legs. The fact that you're even seeing this right now is almost a miracle. We're going over a team today that doesn't exactly need a rebuild, as they have what should be the MVP at quarterback in Lamar Jackson. He's been incredible this year, rising to expectations and exceeding them by a wide margin in a lot of cases. Let's go over the roster. Let's talk about them. And of course, this is a fantasy style rebuild, so we're going to be trying to make a God squad with this Ravens team. There's a lot to work with, but we're also going under the mindset of out with the old, in with the new. We're going to be trading away some players for picks, for players in some instances. Let's try to win a couple of Super Bowls with these Ravens. So, taking a look at the roster, this is what the Ravens have going. And there are some notable changes that certainly need to be made. When you take a look at the offensive line, it's solid. Ronnie Stanley's a beast. He's got superstar development, which is interesting. I didn't know that he had that. And Orlando Brown Jr., who was a very good tackle at Oklahoma, who dropped in the draft because his combine wasn't good. But the tape is better than the combine. So the combine is a test of athletic ability, but the tape is a test of football ability, which is really what you want. And he's been a beast. He was a beast at Oklahoma. He's been a very good tackle for the Ravens. And on the inside, they're a little bit weaker. Marshall Yanda, of course, is a stud, but he's 34 years old. This is a player that we probably should trade. I don't think I'm going to, but we definitely should. He's a 91 overall right guard. He's going to have some trade value, and he'll probably not be on this team long term. Like, we really should trade him. It's just, I don't know. It feels disingenuous to what is, one of the greatest Ravens of all time. Very easily. 2 years left in his deal. Maybe we'll trade him next year. On the inside, Matt Skura, not particularly good. And then Bradley Bozeman. We might have something here. He's only 24 years old. We might be able to develop these two. They're high enough overalls and they're young enough to, it's possible. Although we are going to look to improve them. It's not like Hronis Grasu can take over at that spot at all. James Hurst is also not good. But at receiver, we got something to work with here. Got Hollywood Brown. He's got star better development. That's a big bonus. He might even have superstar. I want to say that he has jukebox as like an ability. So I think he definitely has superstar development. A lot to work with there. Probably going to have to improve at running back, because Mark Ingram, although productive, is older now, and his progression is going to be halted at 29 years old. He'll probably just end up regressing. Archie 3 in here. Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. I'm not confident in their ability to become bell cow running backs for us. Seth Roberts in there. Willie Snead. Is that Chris Moore? Is that who this is? Wild. He can't actually play a lot. I've seen a bunch of Ravens games this year. This is not a name that jumps out consistently, but need to improve it with receiver in a big way. Probably going to play Miles Boykin as our third receiver. Even second. Willie Snead doesn't offer me a whole lot. I don't care about that. Patrick Ricard, beast two-way player. Who could forget about Lamar Jackson? Now, he's no RG3, but we can rock out with him. And I always remember, I have to say that's a joke because, and I know it's that's obviously a joke. People don't get it. when I've done rebuilds in the past, and like if I'm the Saints and I'm like, they gave our drafted QB number 9. I guess he can wear number 9. Can't think of any Saints quarterback who's ever worn number 9. People are like, Drew Brees, are you stupid? Are you stupid? How clear is it that I'm joking? But yeah, Lamar Jackson clearly at least a little bit more valuable than RG&E. Got Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst. Nick Boyle is going to play under Hayden Hurst. Just Hayden Hurst as a star development. Both these tight ends taken in the same draft. Hayden Hurst was a first-round pick at, 24, 25 years old. He's already 26. Mark Andrews, I want to say, was at the top of the 3rd round and was probably the better college player anyway. And he's been a fantastic NFL player. Mark Andrews, I would say, is already without question a top 5 tight end in the NFL. And I know that seems crazy, but think about it. Tyler Eifert. What happened? What year is it? I don't mean that. I meant Travis Kelce. Tyler Eifert. Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, George Kittle. This is no particular order. You could put George Kittle at number 1. You could keep Kelce at number 1. Ertz is right up there. And then there's a little bit of a drop-off. Who are your next 2 tight ends? Let me know. I think Mark Andrews is probably in the top 5. He's just such a good player. He's the number 1 receiving threat on this Ravens team. You watch the Ravens. Mark Andrews is their big target and a huge part of their offense. Lamar Jackson, obviously, everything runs through him. And then defensively, I'll try to take a little bit less time on this. There are some studs to work with here. Earl Thomas, one of my favorite players ever. Superstar X Factor, but is a little bit older. I'm not going to trade Earl Thomas, even though he's 30. He's a high enough overall where he should be still okay. Marlon Humphrey is a beast. Still really underrated player. He's got superstar development. At cornerback, Jimmy Smith is going to be in the final year of his deal. Marcus Peters, same deal. I might look to trade those guys. Tavon Young's going to be back. We have Brandon Carr. Without injury, got a lot to work with here. But also you have to consider a lot of these guys are impending free agents. Again, Marcus Peters, final year of his deal. Jimmy Smith, I think, is in the same boat, and he's over 30. So we're going to look to probably move at least Jimmy Smith, probably Marcus Peters as well. We can take a little bit of a hit in the secondary. And then at linebacker, Pernell McPhee is whatever. They have Josh Bynes, Jalen Ferguson, who is the all-time leading sack getter. I said leading too early. All-time sack leader in NCAA history, but that doesn't necessarily translate to NFL ability. Patrick Owasso, talked about Bynes. We have LJ Fort in here. Matt Judon's a good player. Tyus Bowser, not too bad. Judon seems like he's a lot younger than he is, though. He's already 27. But he's only been in the league for 3 years, which is crazy. But he's progressed pretty quickly. He's a good player. Defensive line solid. Michael Pierce and Brandon Williams is a really good combo. Then they have Jihad Ward. There's a Raiders rebuild on my channel where Jihad Ward blossoms into a superstar. Sadly, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen anymore in these Maddens with the sim engine. Chris Wormley, D'Amato Pecco in there as well. Dalen Mack, who we probably will play him over Justin Ellis just because maybe higher potential because he's younger. But that is the team. We're going to simulate close to the midseason mark. I'm probably going to stop it a little bit before just because I do want to trade some of these players. But we'll have to see how everything progresses and develops. But yeah, I'm definitely going to look to trade some of those guys. Jimmy Smith has to go. There's no reason to keep him. Michael Pierce is an impending free agent as well, although that's probably a player I'd like to keep. Matthew Judon, Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith, Pernell McPhee, Gus Edwards, Seth Roberts, Josh Bynes. I want to trade some of these guys. It is a fantasy-style rebuild. We're trying to make this team as overpowered and disgustingly amazing as possible. So let's go ahead and jump right in and make some trades. What do I want here? Let's get DBs. First trade is going to be Jimmy Smith and Pernell McPhee for a 1 and a 2 from the Buffalo Bills. I wanted to go for Tremaine Edmonds. It's very, very difficult to do player-for-player trades a lot. And I constantly hear that Devin White is an easy player to trade for. I don't think I've ever tried to trade for him. So if we could trade, some type of package, including Brandon Carr, Marcus Peters might be a name I look to re-sign. But if we could trade Brandon Carr and something in order to get a Devin White, I'm so in. I don't think it's going to be easy to trade for him, but I hear he's easy to trade for, so, I'll give it a shot. I don't even think I talked about the safeties at all, other than Earl Thomas. Tony Jefferson, I don't want. Chuck Clark is in here as well. Could be a good player. But here's my guy, Deshaun Elliott, Texas Longhorn beast that has not been able to stay healthy. It's been such a travesty because he's such a talented player. And I think he's going to be a beast in the NFL still. And it's not Texas bias. His tape was exceptional. It's just that he's performed really well in preseason as well. I know it's preseason, but he just has not been able to stay on the field. I still feel like sky's the limit for that guy, but we will have to see. I don't think we're going to be able to get Devin White based on what I have to trade, so it's kind of a lost cause. Big moves as Brandon Carr, Nick Boyle, and a first-round pick are headed to the Jets for Jamal Adams. That is a huge upgrade at the safety position. Jamal Adams is a stud, really young, really good overall. I think he has superstar development opposed to superstar X Factor. Hollywood Brown is superstar, by the way, but I think we knew that. And Jamal Adams, no, they gave him superstar X Factor. So we just traded for a monster for next to nothing, by the way. And he's going to go up to a 94 overall, probably, if we upgrade zone coverage here. And I want to make him more of a zone cover player anyway. As you see, nothing gets upgraded coverage-wise. Maybe this time? Still no. All right. What is his zone coverage? 92? Still pretty good. Yeah, Jamal Adams is a beast, and again, a huge addition. Jamal Adams and Earl Thomas is a killer combo back at safety. And then Tony Jefferson's going to be on the move. Got to improve at linebacker. Have to improve at edge in a huge way. Cornerback, I think, is in a really good spot. Linebacker's bad, just in general. Even with Matt Judon being a good player, I don't know if I'm going to extend him or not. But these are decisions we have to make. I still want to bring back Michael Pierce. Judon, I don't know. Marcus Peters, I'm not sure about. If I could trade Josh Bynes and I guess Seth Roberts, Owaso's probably not going to come back. I need to make some type of trade for maybe another first-round pick or a linebacker or something like that. Boom. That is an interesting trade because we're getting a lot of value. Tony Jefferson, Josh Bynes, Willie Snead for 2 first-round picks, one this year, one next year for the Denver Broncos. Now, I tried to make that exact trade with Seth Roberts. We're up to $69 million in cap room. Nice. And they did not want to do it with Seth Roberts. But just a slight increase in overall to Willie Snead, and they're like, we're in. But yeah, the receiving core has gotten worse, but it's not. Willie Snead is a low-ceiling player at this point. We definitely are going to look to replace him at receiver. So he was an expendable guy that I was going to move anyway. And I'm considering moving Brandon Williams. And the reason is because he's 30 years old. Not really a favorable cap hit for us. Pretty expensive to hold on to him. And I'm just not sure there's a ton of value to retaining him long term, especially with his potential regression incoming. But how important is he to a Super Bowl run this year? I'm not sure. I think it would be a good idea to trade him just because we're deconstructing the team a little bit. I understand that. But with the regression in Madden 20, you have to get out with the old, in with the new to be a long-term competitor. I'm trying to get picks and players to make this team unbelievable. We already got Jamal Adams. I'd love a stud receiver. I'm just not sure how realistic it is that we'd be able to bring one in just based on how the trade logic in this game works, which trade logic is, it's got like a 4 IQ. It's not very good. But if we could trade Brandon Williams, I really should trade Yonda, but I'm not going to. I should trade Ingram as well, but I'm not going to. Here's a decision I have to make right now. Are we keeping Marcus Peters? I think yes. Are we keeping Matt Judon? I think yes. So they're not available for trade. Who else is available for trade? Probably one of the tight ends. And I've already traded Nick Boyle, so Hayden Hurst would be that next guy just because he would have decent trade value. And you don't really need 2 tight ends who are decent. Star development. I don't think yet on Hayden Hurst. I haven't decided. What else can we really move? It would have to be a Wasso. How much worse are we getting? We still have Jalen Ferguson, Judon, Tyus Bowser. We really could move a Wasso if we wanted to and then move Tyus Bowser to the inside. If we can get a great package back for these 2 players, I would be certainly interested. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. Okay, big trade. The only reason I'm getting Danny Isidora, by the way, is so we don't go under the minimum roster size. I could assign somebody, but this was going to be the trade anyway. Brandon Williams and Justin Ellis, so definitely one big cog on our defensive line, but Ellis wasn't going to play anyway. We already talked about that. And a second-round pick. Brandon Williams is big, but it's a huge contract we're getting rid of, and I'm not so focused on that, but that is how we're going to bring in huge free agents. I'm getting a first-round pick from the Dolphins, who should be terrible, and Jerome Baker. Now, Jerome Baker, if he develops the way that he has the potential to, you've seen Dolphins franchise, although that's the extreme version of that maybe. I'm saying maybe you've seen it. Series on the channel where we actually play the games. Jerome Baker has a ton of potential. He develops usually pretty well if his development trait goes up. That's a big if, but it could happen. Already up to a 76 overall. This is a really good player we got. And we're keeping Owasso for now. This is going to be the team. Yeah, like Jihad Ward's not great, obviously. We got a little bit worse. A little bit. Down from an 85 to an 84. But I think we're set up better for the future. And I don't think this team got a lot worse. I really don't. So, even though we're going to lose Owasso in free agency, more than likely, I think we've got a really good setup. I don't really think we've gotten much worse at all. I think this is still probably a team that can go really, really far in the playoffs. We are 5-2 at the midseason mark. Lamar Jackson's probably going to be en route to another MVP caliber season like he is in real life. I want to bring back Pierce, Judon, Peters. Those are pretty much all the players that matter. So we brought back Judon and Marcus Peters. Michael Pierce wants a higher salary, which is fine. I mean, he's pretty fantastic. We might end up transitioning into a 4-3 anyway. I wouldn't stress over it. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into the playoffs. I have high expectations that this is going to be a playoff team, but we will see. We would go 11-5, securing a first-round bye, which is excellent, clearly. And Lamar Jackson led the best offense in the NFL. I'm interested to see what his rushing yards are going to be. Our defense was elite as well. Mark Ingram looks like he had a great season. Now, how are they going to do Lamar Jackson? See, that's interesting. Like, pretty good yards per attempt, to be fair, but not a whole ton of carries, not a whole ton of yards. Like, in real life, for perspective, he's over 1,000 with, you know, more than one rushing touchdown, clearly. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown had a very good season. A lot of catches, yards, decent amount of touchdowns in there as well. And then defensively, Marcus Peters led our team in tackles with only 89. That's strange. 8 for loss for Judon. The most sacks on this team was 5 for Michael Pierce. And we really, I mean, we had a decent number of picks, but there's no like one standout player. Like usually I look like 4 or above is a good number, but didn't see anything like that. But our defense was good. So Deshaun Watson wins MVP. It's always Lamar Jackson, except for when I'm the Ravens. It's always like you jump into any of these teams, I'll never win MVP with Deshaun Watson when I'm the Texans. But Jacoby Brissett with the Colts never will happen. Yet when other teams do it, they will always win. Very frustrating. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson at 5. Defensive Player of the Year, Kyle Van Noy. No Ravens. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Drew Lock. Hollywood Brown at 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Drew Tranquill. No Ravens. The only guy who might have been in that conversation would have been Jalen Ferguson, but he probably didn't even play enough. So playoff time, we are 11-5. Not going to jump into any of these games in season number 1. That's just not really a point. And we lose to the Chiefs in the divisional. That is fantastic. Love to see that. Always love a first round exit. Shout out to the real life Bengals, even though my name would show that I might be a fan of them. I'm not. It's the deadest meme around. It's so unoriginal. So Owasso has actually regressed already. That's the thing. Like, he turns 28. It's like, let's make him worse. Sure, is he figuring out the NFL and coming into his prime? Yeah, but it's time for him to be not good. Michael Pierce is a player I'd like to bring back. Regression doesn't hit at 27. I just got to up the salary on that. Now, this is an expensive defensive tackle, but he's 360. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of weight. We'll see what's available in free agency. We do have some money. It's not a ton. It's 25 mil. It's a decent bit. Depends who's here. Chris Jones, that would be an excellent replacement to Brandon Williams. Now, here's the thing, is the Jets are his only offer, and it's not even that much. So if we took this down, kind of lowballed him, we might be able to get Chris Jones for a steal. Mark Ingram has regressed by 3. Kareem Hunt would be a good addition. How expensive would he be? A little bit too expensive, but if I lowball, maybe we can steal him. 63 total points. Why not? We'll make an attempt. Van Noy's up to superstar development. Antonio Brown's in here. Yannick Ngakoue would be a good addition. But I don't. Mike Hilton has a superstar. Ooh, so we got Kareem Hunt and Chris Jones. Now, people want to talk about Justin Tucker being the best kicker in the league. There's going to be a lot of competition for that spot now. And Mark Ingram, his 85 overall is due to morale, up by 2, which is fine. And then defensively, Chris Jones is a huge addition. Don't really need Chris Wormley. Nobody's development went up. Did Judon regress? He turned 28. Play rec down by 2. Whatever. We're going to pick up Jamal Adams 5th year for sure. Adams is a stud. Definitely want to keep him around. And then Marlon Humphrey, certainly same conversation. Yeah, we want Marlon Humphrey back. And this is part of the reason we need to clear a little bit of cap space, because those players are not going to be cheap. Even if we prolong it another year, we're still going to have to re-sign them to long-term contracts eventually. So we did need to clear up a little bit of space for sure. But it is time for the 2020. It bothered me that I said that instead of 2020, but whatever. NFL Draft. The Raiders have the number 1 overall pick. We are at number 2. There's some absolute studs in this draft class. Like 3rd-round cornerback Matthew Johnson out of Maryland. Looks unreal. 6'2", 4.49 speed, great vertical, great top skills. Definitely a player I'd like to bring in. So I know people hate when I trade down, but it's often the best decision to make because you can get more picks later and you can spread them out and bring in more talent to your team. Now, is that going to be what I do? I don't know. I don't think so. I like Quentin Bridge quite a bit. And I think he's going to be the move. 6'3", 246, kind of like that Khalil Mack build out of Virginia. Not quite the athlete, but still good combine, great top skills. I think we got a great player in here. Need to upgrade an edge anyway. Quentin Bridge, welcome to the team. Number 3 in the draft. Don't mind the reach. 78 overall. They give him 66. He's got star or better development. Decent speed, good finesse moves, great acceleration, good strength. He is a beast. So Marshall Yonda retired. Would have been nice to trade him. I probably should have. I should have done it. I'm trying to make moves here to get 2nd round picks to trade back from 13, which seems like I think you guys would think this is bad value, but I don't think it is. If I can get the talent of a 13th overall caliber player at these 2 picks, it's obviously worth it. But I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know that they would accept that. All right, number 13 overall, Dalen Mack. Backup defensive tackle. We don't really need him. And a 5th for 2 2nd round picks. Again, I don't think you guys are going to like that value very much. But I pick at 15, and there's just not value here to taking a player at 13. So I'd rather trade down and then probably take that cornerback at the top of the 2nd round. Because if you see here, if I scroll down, like, there's not a ton here that makes it worthwhile. All right, I'm going to take my man here, D'Angelo Johnson from Boston College. Okay, D'Angelo. What is this, like when Will Ferrell was D'Angelo on The Office? His combine's awesome. His top skills are awesome. I think he's going to be a really good player. And he is a 74 overall, number 16 in the class. We took him at 15. That just shows how good this class is in that case. Only normal development. I've had 2 reaches so far, down 1 each time. But he's really, really good. Definitely someone that can slide inside and play guard easily. He's agile type, so he is already fast, 72 speed. He's got good ability. Lead blocking is already up high. This is a prototypical guard. Really, really like him as transitioning that. So, yeah, I like that. Top of the 2nd round. So there's this left end here that I took a quick look at. Looks okay. I'm probably going to go with one of these cornerbacks, depending on who's available. Kendrick Irwin looked like a really good safety, but we don't really need him because we have, of course, 2 great safeties already. Matthew Isaac looked pretty good at a Temple, but again, not really at the top of our needs. So I'm going to go Matthew Johnson here. Don't want him to slip. Sick cornerback out of Maryland. We're going to keep him in the area, in the DMV. Matthew Johnson from Maryland to the Baltimore Ravens in Maryland. He is a 76 overall, ranked number 7 in the class. Only normal development sucks. But he's got a good man, Speed's a little low, but he's a good player. I mean, he's gonna have room to grow, which is what that's what you take someone in the draft for. So I might even take both of these defensive ends here, Matthew Isaac and Patrick Patton, and we'll see how good they are. Isaac is a 70 overall, ranked number 28. Took him at 47. He's only got normal development. Rotational player at best. He's decent, but I mean, like, there's potential there. It's just like when you don't see star, better development. It's a yikes. Let's go Patrick Patton here. Stanley Rose, is he better? He's definitely more of a speed rusher. High finesse moves. Who would you rather have? Patrick Patton or Stanley Roosevelt? Patton's got a better build. He's okay. Roosevelt's also okay. Like, who would I prefer? And we haven't addressed offensive line that much. Took one offensive lineman, but it just wasn't a great class for him, so I'm not just gonna reach. Let's take Roosevelt. Why not? We can always see who's better. Roosevelt is a 71 overall, number 22 in the class. Took him at number 60. Only normal development. Another guy that's going to be a rotational player. But, yeah, not a stud for sure, but still a first-round talent. Take a receiver here, Cam Brazil out of North Texas. He is a 68 overall, but star better development. He's number 63 in the class. Took him at 92. Good speed, good deep route running. We might have something here. Interesting. Of course, I did do a realistic Ravens rebuild months back. So if you'd like to see a real draft class, I would recommend watching that if you have not already. Everything's in the rebuild playlist. Every link you're ever going to need is pretty much in the description. So Twitter, Instagram, things like that. And this looks like a pretty good offensive lineman. Craig Adams out of Iowa. Where else are you going to take an offensive lineman from if not Iowa? 70 overall, number 40 in the class. Took him at 124. Only normal development, but also looks like a pretty good player. Pass block finesse is quite low. Nice impact blocking, but not bad. Patton is a 70 overall. Also has normal development. We didn't miss on much by not taking him over the other defensive end I went with. I think we got a +1 overall, right? We may have, yeah. So I guess that's a better pick. So this is going to be the team for season number 2. Some notable, I would say, losses. Marshall Yanda at right guard. The team's worse in some areas. We're still at an 85 overall. I think we're preparing for the future. I'm starting Brazil as our number 2 receiver because he might have a ton of potential. Even if he has star development, that's great. Now, I've moved to a 4-3. Here's the thing with that, though, is that the personnel is strange. So we have we're in an interesting situation. Maybe Matt Judon could play outside linebacker instead, but I've got Jalen Ferguson, who is not an off the ball player, but we're gonna play a very attacking 4-3, so he doesn't really have to be. And then we've got Tyus Bowser at right outside linebacker, who's a good athlete but more of a rusher than anything else, but has some potential to be more than that. I don't know. We have some good value here. Good 4 corners. I like a lot. Good defensive line, starting Quentin Bridge at left end. And we have a lot of potential. Offense doesn't look terrible. And then for specialists, Bridge is going to be a rush end. Judon's going to be a rush end. And then we have Brazil, Hollywood Brown, Kareem Hunt in there. So that's the team. I'm going to simulate to the midseason mark, or just about. Might stop it just short. And we'll see how we're doing. Midseason mark. We got a breakout challenge for Mark Andrews. It's going to be probably impossible to get. I don't think that he's going to be able to do whatever it wants him to do. 3 touchdowns, 150 yards, and he plays tight end. Yeah, there's just no way. We're 2-4. This game continues to annoy me. Why would that be? Ronnie Stanley, Sam Cook, Tyus Bowser, Chuck Clark, free agents. The only one I really care about is Ronnie Stanley. Like Sam Cook, yeah, but he's 38 and a punter. So it's not exact. Even if he's a great punter, which he is, it doesn't matter that much. Show me superstar dev on Cam Brazil, please. Just star, which is fine. We're going to continue to play him because you never know like what he could go up to if he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Got some good development here. Bridge only has star, which is a huge letdown. Good player, but still, just a letdown nonetheless. And we did not make the playoffs. Fantastic. 9-7. This game is so weird sometimes. We had the best offense in the NFL and did not make the playoffs. We had the 4th best defense in the NFL in terms of yards. Points scored, top of the league. Points allowed, 7th. This is not a playoff team? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, this game, dude. Lamar Jackson threw 15 picks. Mark Ingram was great. Kareem Hunt was great. That's a really good combo. Lamar Jackson still pretty good at receiving. Cam Brazil led us in yards, although not catches. 9 touchdowns for Mark Andrews. Maybe he did go up to superstar. No, he didn't. But defensively, Marcus Peters led our team in tackles again, which is odd. Sacks, 11.5 for Judon, 9 for Chris Jones, 7 for the rookie Quentin Bridge. Interceptions, 3 for Jerome Baker led the way. Okay. Show me a development trait increase for Jerome Baker at some point. He also had a touchdown. Is this Dolphins franchise? Feels like it might be. MVP goes to Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson at 8. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson at 9. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. No Ravens. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cam Brazil. We might have something there. We might have a development trait increase to superstar, which would be awesome. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chris Sidney over Quentin Bridge. Come on, man. That would have been so awesome to win. We had a lot of coach XP, which should be good enough to upgrade one position. Probably not going to waste that on quarterback since Lamar Jackson's already amazing. Probably going to spend that on receiver. But it's Super Bowl week. I need to see a development trait increase for at least Cam Brazil. At least. Now, if it's not him and if it's somebody else, that's fine. But I need multiple players to go up in development trait. At least a star for some of these normal guys. Show me something here. Brazil does not. He stays at star. Disappointing. No changes on offense in terms of development. And then defensively, Judon went up to superstar. I'll take it. It's something at least. That's big. So even though he is regressing at 29, he has superstar development. He made the Pro Bowl. I like it. I like it. So regression is going to be halted a little bit for him. Is he not regressed? Did they regress at Super Bowl? Are we in the offseason? How is he not regressed? Did he just skip it this year? That's odd. Maybe he didn't regress. Sam Cook, Tyus Bowser, we're going to let go. Tyus Bowser's kind of like a cult hero on this channel, but we're not keeping him. So, sorry. Free agency. We'll see what we can bring in to improve this squad. Only 10 mil. So we don't exactly have a lot of money. Keenan Allen is here. Oh my God. So is Chris Godwin, and nobody wants him? I'm going to make an offer on Chris Godwin. Because why would I not? Especially when we can lowball him. I'm going to go like 70 points. 43 is a little bit too low. I don't think we'll have a shot at that. But if we offer him like 70, we might be able to bring in Chris Godwin. That's 47. All right, we're going to... How can I rework the cap? That's our next step. That's what we have to figure out. All right, Mark Ingram is 31 years old and down to an 80 overall. It is time to move on. Mark Ingram's getting cut. I probably could have traded him. LJ Fort is certainly getting cut. There's no reason to keep him at all. I want Chris Godwin so badly. Steven Sims. It's not that bad. Although Tim Sherrill is not going to be so lucky. Let's bring in Chris Godwin, man. Oh, that's no good. We needed Chris Godwin to sign there. Because now another team's going to be in the... Oh, really? No one's in the race? Well, I'm going to stay right where I am. Don't offer on Chris Godwin. Sign with the Ravens, Chris. Make the right decision. Ugh. Now a team for sure is going to be in on him. The Bengals, God, dude. I'll up the contract. Boom, we got Chris Godwin. Major addition to the offense. So even though you say, oh, offense is not the problem, defense isn't either. We just haven't been able to win. And it's because Trace McSorley wasn't our backup. Now we're going to go off. But Brazil is going to be a good third. NFL draft time. What picks do we even have? 3? I'm in. A minus man coverage. Too bad you're slow as anything and can't do anything else. All right, let's see what's available at 3. Lions go with Clayton Lamar, left end at a Utah State. And the Raiders go Nicholas Eason out of Florida State. Now, that actually leaves me with the player that I wanted. We have an interesting decision. We could go with this off-the-ball linebacker, Brian Crockett. But I think I'm going to lean towards Joey Sweet out of the U. Unreal speed, prototype size, 6'1", 240 with that type of speed. Really well-balanced top skills. And what you'll notice is that his archetype is pass coverage, so he's going to be very good in coverage, and it's not even one of his top skills, so that's going to be good as well. I think he's going to be a beast. Joey Sweet is a 76 overall star, better development. I love this selection. Number 7 in the class, we took him at 3. Block shed's a bit low, but 89 speed, 88 acceleration, 78 zone. 81 tackle. Yeah, this is a monster. And you really don't see many good linebackers, or like inside linebackers in the draft, so really, really good player. Love that addition to our team. Coco Crisp? No, it's not. No, your name is not Coco Crisp. No, it can't be. I don't believe it. Now, as ridiculous as that name sounds, it actually is the name of a professional athlete. Former Red Sox outfielder of the 2000s, Coco Crisp. How is that in Madden? How is that an auto-generated name? I'm upset. There's no one on my draft board at 19. Is this not a great class? I guess it must not be. So I'm thinking in the draft, I'm like, what position can we really improve? The only one that stands out is interior offensive line. I think our receiving core is good, running back's good, quarterback's good, tight end's great, tackle's great. And then defensively, safety's great, corner's great. Linebacker could be another position, because Jalen Ferguson shouldn't be playing off the ball. And then we already improved one of these spots. Our defensive line's good. Cornerback's good. I don't know. I mean, we could move this first-round pick for something, I guess. Okay, gigantic trade for us. Number 19 overall. That right end that we drafted, Roosevelt, and a second-round pick this year as well, so we only have a third now. But we get B-Wags. Bobby Wagner. What a gigantic addition to our defense. I really can't say gigantic enough. So let's go with colossal, another word that's unnecessarily long. Bobby Wagner's fantastic. That means Jerome Baker's going to move outside. He'll play left outside linebacker. His overall will jump up, probably to an 81, maybe only an 80, but he's a skill point away. So close to getting another skill point, I should say, to another overall. He goes up to an 80, and we'll move that middle linebacker to right outside linebacker. Our linebacking core is awesome. It's all about progressing some of these players now. I don't think our offensive line is so bad that, oh, we have to improve it so terribly. Now, I could trade this third-round pick and maybe pick next year for a really good offensive lineman. I usually go for Quentin Nelson just because he's so good and so easy to trade for, and the cap hit isn't too bad, so I might do that here. I know it's cheesy or whatever, but some of these get like this, where we're trying to build a God squad. Need to get rid of a player in order to make this happen. How do you feel about Matthew Isaac? You like him? This would take us over the salary cap. That's no good. But the trade would be accepted. So let's rework some contracts. And by that I mean cut some players. And see what we can do. James Hurst has that type of cap hit. No thanks. I don't like that at all. How many receivers do we need? What is happening? How did I not realize the team was like this? We have 20 wide receivers, all making a mill. What? That is so weird. I've never seen anything like this. We don't need any of them. Former middle school USC quarterback recruit David Sills. Maybe he could be a good backup QB for us, but not going to keep him. Not going to keep Dylan Mitchell either, even though he was highly productive at Oregon. Not going to keep Olamide Zaccheaus. Sorry. Okay, traded most of my draft for Quentin Nelson, a third and a fourth remaining, and of course Isaac. But we have Quentin Nelson now, which is such an incredible addition. That's going to do it for me on the draft. Why was that so huge? That was the size of the screen pretty much. That didn't fit at all. That's a fun glitch. Why is everything so big? That's what she said. Look at the size of this. I know that's what she said jokes in 2019, almost 2020. But also, has there ever been a better time? Time to see what Joey Sweet goes up to at right outside linebacker. Giving him 55. I can change it. We give him 56. Shout out. Was Peter Bulware 56 or 58? Peter Bulware was 58. Whatever. Sweet is going to play right outside linebacker. We got Bobby Wagner up the seam, which is not what that's called, but he's out the middle. Jerome Baker at left outside linebacker. This team is so good now. Time to miss the playoffs again and then cry. We need a punter. That's not that hard to acquire. Tavon Young in the slot. Rush end is going to be Quentin Bridge over Jalen Ferguson. Chris Jones, Michael Pierce. Sweet is going to be the sub linebacker just because I want him to win Rookie of the Year. I'm going to change it receiver a little bit, and then we're going to be good to rock and roll. Mid-season mark, Quentin Nelson's an impending free agent. We are 5-3, currently in a tough competition, tough race for the AFC North title against the Cleveland Browns. Do want to bring back Quentin Nelson. Not sure what our money situation is going to be. Probably not great. Riley Dixon's in there. That's a pretty good punter. Oh, we have to re-sign everybody. Not ideal. What type of money do we have? 1.28 mil. Doesn't seem like a lot. How did I manage this? I have less space than I could ever imagine. We're screwed. Is this the final year? It might be, because I've gotten way too many good players, and I cannot afford to keep even most of them. Like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to re-sign anybody. How is this possible? See, Marlon Humphrey wants a higher salary, and I can't afford Jamal Adams or anybody else. I really don't know. I've never experienced this before. I mean, in how many rebuilds have I uploaded this year? I mean, it's easily been 70 plus. But wow, we're not even close to having any space. This is wild. I think I just saw a superstar development increase for our right outside linebacker rookie. Oh, he's got superstar X Factor and he's not playing. Why? The CPU... Oh, he's got Zone Hawk, which is sick for a linebacker. Are you kidding me? Why would the CPU have Jalen Ferguson? They did it by themselves. I know he's my sub linebacker, so he is still playing a lot. That's Joey Sweet. One of my favorite picks ever, probably already. What a monster. All right, so what I found out is our window for success is this year. I'm going to do another season after this, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. We really are out here with no money at all. So Marlon Humphrey is really being annoying. I don't know if we have the money to bring him back or anybody for that matter. I know I keep stressing about it. Can you blame me? We're going to lose the entire team. So not ideal. Sick. 12-4, but that puts us in the wild card because the Browns won the division at 14-2. Oh my goodness. Second offense in the NFL. How's our defense? Second as well. When it doesn't show anything, it means it's the same number as before. Trace McSorley with a hell of a year. 1 for 1 for -3 yards. Averaged negative yards per game because that makes sense. It's a great player. Lamar Jackson, good season. Rushing, Kareem Hunt was good. Justice Hill was not. Lamar Jackson, pretty good on the ground as well. Myles Gaskin even got carries. Receiving, Chris Godwin, great year. Hollywood Brown, great year. Mark Andrews, great year. Doing great. Defensively, B-Wags had a hell of a season. 18 tackles for loss for Judon, who had 15.5 sacks. Go off. Quentin Bridge, 10. 8.5 for Pierce even. Interceptions, 3 for Peters. 2 for Quentin Bridge at left end. How does that happen? I'm not complaining, but so weird. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Lamar Jackson at 6. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Mahomes. Lamar Jackson at 3. Defense Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cedric Clifford. 68 overall in there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Sweet. Dude, what a monster Joey Sweet is. What a sweet draft pick. Haha. Great one. We're up to a 93 overall, 95 offense, 91 defense. This is our window. I said it, and it's true. Our window is right now, and the window's closing rapidly. The team is awesome, but we're losing a lot of talent. This is just not a sustainable roster. It's one of the best I've ever built, probably, but it's going super downhill. Let's see if we can beat the Patriots in the wild card to advance to the divisional, and we can 38-24. And then I think we're going to jump in to Super Sim against the Jaguars, who are an 84 overall team. Also, if you say Jaguars, I don't understand you and I don't like you. Jaguar? Why would that be wire? It's Jaguar. I almost understand the British pronunciation of Jaguar more than Jaguar. I hear people say Jaguar, and it befuddles me beyond belief. Up 14-0 over the Jags already, but they tie it up. Nope, that's not what happened there. Sometimes I just go brain dead. Y'all have been on the channel long enough to know that that does happen a lot. 20-10, Jags. I almost said tied up again. I'm so stupid. I know how numbers work a little. Like, not that well, but a little bit. I don't know why when I say tie it up. They, like, got it back within reach a little bit, but we kept pace with them the entire game. Every time they scored, we scored, and we already had the big lead. So we maintained, we held out, and we will be playing now in the conference championship. Who is going to meet us? I hope it's not the Browns, but it's going to be the Browns. It's always the Browns, and it's the Browns. That's, yeah, I mean, are you surprised? Because I'm not. All right, Browns have the home game. They're an 88 overall to our 93. We'll see how competitive they are. They're going to have a decent team. Baker's going to be well developed. They have Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Denzel Ward. Nick Chubb is going to be a beast. Hopefully our defensive line can rise to the occasion, shut him down. They don't have... What? They don't have Baker. They have Phillip Rivers, who's down to a 72 overall. And with their 72 overall quarterback, they won 14 games. I don't like this. All right, Browns jumping out to an early lead, but we go ahead on top 10-7, make it 13-7 as we come up to the end of the first half. Browns answer though, 16-10, now 19-10, 27-10. This one looks like it might be all over already. Too little, too late for the Browns, we hope. 33-20, and that is your final. 33-27 as the Baltimore Ravens are victorious over Freddie Kitchens and the division rival Cleveland Browns. No, Baker was their quarterback. Why did they show Phillip Rivers? Because he has a higher development trait? Is that how that works? What a weird thing to do. Phillip Rivers is their backup quarterback, who definitely has superstar X factor, because I'm sure Baker's up to superstar at least. But we are Super Bowl bound. I said our window was this year, and it is truly. If we don't win this year, we're not winning next year. And we are facing an 8-win team in the Super Bowl. An 8-win team. Chris Godwin went up to Superstar X Factor. That's sick. He has Moss as well. Oh, gross. Defensively, I mean, Joey Sweet is up to an 88. I don't see any defensive development improvements. I wish Jerome Baker would go up to star. Ever. That happened at the beginning of the year when we used to get him. Not so much lately. But Super Bowl Dallas, Ravens, Niners. It's a Super Bowl rematch. The last time this happened, the Ravens were victorious. And if you remember, the power went out mid-game. And the momentum totally changed. One of the weirder things that's ever happened in a game. Let alone the biggest game of the year all season, the Super Bowl. But it should be an interesting one. We got a big overall advantage on the 49ers, but we'll see how competitive they are. They've got some great players. Hopefully we come out here and win a Super Bowl. Hoist that Lombardi once again over this 49ers team. All right, very defensive-minded game so far. It's 6-3, make it 13-3, and that is the end of the first half. Got to keep scoring 20-3. Thought we were in the driver's seat, but the 49ers answer. But I think it's, again, too little, too late, as your final is going to be 27-13, winning by 2 touchdowns over this 49ers team. Kyle Shanahan cannot believe it, and can you blame him? Check out there, Deebo Samuel, Jimmy G, whose face scan looks great. That looks exactly like him. But yes, the Baltimore Ravens, once again, are Super Bowl champions for the third time in NFL history, and they're one of the newest franchises, which is very interesting. They beat the Giants in 2000. Sad for me as a Giants fan. They beat the 49ers in 2012? No, 2013. 2013. And they now beat the 49ers here in 2021. Kareem Hunt, 3 touchdowns. Player of the game. 3 touchdowns. Tell you what, he went on the goal line. He kicked open the door and said, "I'm coming in." Didn't take no for an answer. And he is a big reason why we are Super Bowl champions, punting the 49ers across the field. And Chris Godwin up there. We got Bobby Wagner, of course, Lamar Jackson, and the Super Bowl MVP, Kareem Hunt. And should we do another season just to see how much of a disaster it is? I think we should. Let's go ahead and see if we can retain anybody and advance to the next season. Free agency, we're not going to have any money. The draft, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to be probably pretty bad. I need Lamar Jackson to carry this team to success. And once again, Super Bowl glory. We'll have to see what happens. What is this rookie reserve looking like that we don't have the money to get Marlon Humphrey when it says we have cap room? He's going to test out free agency. That's worst case scenario. So here's my plan. We're going to look to bring back one of these players and then franchise tag Marlon Humphrey. So it's going to put us super negative for the cap. But it's counting like... See, it's so stupid because even though we could not bring back Marlon Humphrey, it's counting our offer to him, which it shouldn't. We should be able to offer way more to Jamal Adams. But as you can see, we're going to be so negative in the cap when we offer him this money, even though we can afford it. So I guess I'm just going to franchise tag Marlon Humphrey. We can't get anybody. We cannot bring these guys back. Did I just talk through a burp? I may have. Marlon Humphrey's back. Again, we have no money for anybody else. As you can see, negative 15 mil now. But we had to settle to bring back at least somebody. And a goodbye to the rest of the team. NFL draft time, picking at the very end of the first round, obviously. We'll see what's there. This will be likely the last pick of the rebuild, as there's a Nuggets now. The Nuggets are our team. That's the Nuggets logo, like one of their alternates. So this is our new team. Our offensive line is bad. Receiving core is still great. We have Hayden Hurst now because we couldn't bring back Mark Andrews. The defense is still really good. Tavon Young looks like he's going to play strong safety. Cornerbacks are still good. In fact, we could move one of these guys back. Probably Tavon Young. Just because Matthew Johnson doesn't really profile well in that position. So Tavon Young is going to move to strong safety where he's seriously undersized. But that's what it's going to have to be. All right, we're going to reach here already. It looks like for a good player. We're going to take Josh Poole out of Texas A&M. He is a 73 overall, so he's going to be good enough to start. Number 19 in the draft. We took him at 32. Only normal development, a little bit disappointing. But very high strength, very well-rounded. I think he should be able to go. Take a receiver here in Lee Sorrell just because he's one of the best players available. 71 overall, normal development, number 30 in the class. We took him at 64, so not a great player overall. Actually doesn't look bad. Higher development would have been nice. But it's good depth at receiver, I guess. Not that we didn't already have that, but it's just best player available, and sometimes that's what you got to do. And there's not great offensive linemen that I can fill the team with, so we're taking what we can. Could go with a safety there. Maybe Antrell Rolls kid, we could say. Although he's probably a little bit too old for that. Let's just take him. Eli Roll out of LSU. Welcome to the team. 70 overall, normal development, number 31 in the class. We took him at 96. It's good value. Again, 69 hit power. Nice. So this is the team for the final season. It is what it is. It's an 88 overall. It's not a bad team. And our defense... Oh, yeah, we lost Jerome Baker. Our defense is definitely solid. Not as great as it could be. But there are definitely some really good players on it. Final season. Would love to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I'm happy we got one. Didn't even have to play at all. Probably would have blown it anyway somehow. But it's still good. I mean, we'll see what we're capable of. 5-2 at the midseason mark. I'm not going to worry about re-signing anybody. Just going to upgrade the team. And, well, I'm curious to see how much money we have to re-sign. It should be a lot. It should be a ton of money. 46 mil. We could bring back probably everyone that we wanted to. These contracts came up so quick, and they just a lot of them. Kind of a tough spot we were in, but we'll see if this is a playoff team. I think it should be. We're 5-2. Played the Raiders at this exact spot last time, and we beat them. So hopefully that happens again. And we went 12-4 that season, so could see a repeat here. Maybe happening. If we don't make the playoffs, it'll be such a buzzkill. But we do. First round bye, went 11-5. Browns really fell off big time, going 8-8. Our offense fell off big time. Is Lamar Jackson regressing as a 99 overall? What's that about? What are his passing attributes looking like? Is he elite or no? Pretty damn good. Not elite numbers, though. And it's not like he's doing anything crazy on the ground. 5 rushing touchdowns is a big improvement. Kareem Hunt was unbelievable. Receiving, Chris Godwin was awesome. Hayden Hurst had 10 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown, great season as well. Defensively, Bobby Wagner had a great season. Tackles for loss, 16 for Quentin Bridge, who also had 9 sacks, 11.5 though from Chris Jones would lead the way. Interceptions, 3 for Matthew Johnson in the slot. Marcus Peters with 3. Marlon Humphrey with 2. Even Iman Marshall got involved. And apparently he added Lewis into his name. I guess he goes to the Ravens. He's like, Ray Lewis is my daddy now. I'll take a hyphenated last name. Touchdowns, none for the defense. And then yearly awards. Mitchell Trubisky and the 13-3 Patriots wins MVP. And here's the Nuggets. I swear to God, this is the Nuggets logo. Let me get a picture of this on the screen. Look at this. I know it's not the exact same. But that, I mean, there's some big similarities there. Like, some big similarities. I don't know. You tell me. Trubisky also wins Offensive Player of the Year. Lamar Jackson. No, Kareem Hunt at 6. Lamar Jackson at 9. Nice. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. No Ravens. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Gillisley. Bunch of Dolphins in there, and they're terrible overall. It's Defensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Worthy. We obviously did not really play any rookies because we decided to trade away picks for players that are no longer on the team. So that was fun. Oh, that was 2 years ago. What did we do last draft? We really didn't get much. Joey Sweet is a beast. We're going into the divisional now. We got the Colts. 91 overall. So this team really didn't fall apart as much as I thought it was going to. We did lose some big players, but the team is still pretty good. Offense. Here's the defense. Sweet is up to a 90 already. Jalen Ferguson out there. Quentin Bridge approaching a 90. Would have been nice to see some of these guys go up in development. But we'll see if we can defeat the Colts here and advance to the conference championship. And we do by a touchdown. And now it's Ravens-Broncos. This is another playoff rematch. And again, one of my favorite players ever. Up there with Earl Thomas. Champ Bailey was amazing the whole year and then blew coverage in the conference championship. And the Broncos lost. It was sad because I'm a huge Champ Bailey fan. So I hate to see that happen to him after an unreal season. We'll see what happens this time, though. Can we advance to the Super Bowl in back-to-back years? Yes. Unbelievable scenes. And now it's going to be Ravens-Bears. Who is the Bears' new quarterback? Probably some random that's up to a 90 overall. Some ass QB they drafted. Kareem Hunt is up to superstar development. Anything else notable? I don't see anything on offense. And then defensively, don't see anything either. Earl Thomas is regressing big time, but this team's sick. Could be a Super Bowl team yet again. We're going to jump in. The 11-5 Ravens take on the 9-7 Bears. They're an 85 overall. Who is their quarterback? We're going to find out next. Give me a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. Come on, Ravens. Down 10-3. Make it 17-3. It's not looking good. Get a field goal in there before the start of the second half. We got to score, man. 17-12, 4.5 minutes ago. Is it too early to jump in? Ooh, we're on offense. Lamar Jackson, I already know he's going to be a joke to play with. Chris Godwin has a superstar ability. Watch how unreal Lamar Jackson's going to be. All I have to do is run. All I have to do is run. He's got, I think the Escape Artist superstar ability, and he has first one free as his superstar X Factor. It's going to be impossible for the Ravens not to be successful here. The Bears are not going to be able to stop me. Even with unreal speed. Look at this. It's unfair. Hit me. Okay, maybe the spin was not a good idea. But this is not fair. This is why if I had a mobile quarterback in Dolphins franchise, an escape artist, it's over. Screen. Come on. Do something. Nah, Kareem Hunt stood up. But that's good. We're going to waste time. We're going to score a touchdown. We're going to win. It's probably going to be a rushing touchdown with Lamar Jackson. Because, again, he is not fair. And I will use that completely to my advantage. I don't have to play fair. Oh, let me make a good read. I can't do that. I know my abilities. I'm bad at the game. It's not one of the abilities I have is to make a good throw or a decision or not drop back 50 yards whenever I snap the ball. I'm just going to snap the ball with Lamar Jackson, and no matter what's out there, I'm going to run. Because why would I do anything else? Okay, they were on it that time, huh? They knew. They knew what was up. That's fine. Hollywood Brown is going to be so open on this corner route. I already know. But just in case he's not, we're going to probably run. Okay, these all over that? Oh, shoot. I've made a mistake. That was not good what happened. Khalil Mack's very good. 4th and 41. Yeah, this is not an ideal situation. We'll see what I can do. We're just throwing it up off the back foot. Hollywood Brown, go up and get it. It's unfortunate. So it's safe to say mistakes were made by me. That's fair. I didn't know Khalil Mack was going to be as good at containing the edge. You figure one of the best edge rushers in football probably would be pretty good at that. I thought we'd be able to get away from him, and it was not the case at all. But we have potential to come back. It's very, very slim to none that we can do this, but there's potential for it. Let's play action. Take the ball. I'm on R1. Take the football. Strip him. All right, 80 yards in 23 seconds. Who am I looking at here? Godwin? Probably. All right, let's see what we got here. Chris Godwin. Sideline. Didn't get it. All right, I need to block Khalil Mack. There's a flag. It's probably a hold, and that's going to be the game. That stops the clock at least, which I think in real life it's like a 10-second runoff. Yeah, we're in a tough spot. All right, that's a good gain. This game's over. 4th and 2, game on the line. I've dropped back so far. Hollywood Brown, get out of bounds! That's the game. Yeah, I mean, it's on me. I dropped back 40 yards with Lamar Jackson trying to run away from Khalil Mack. We got one Super Bowl at least. I know it's like, dude, you suck so bad for losing the game like that. And you are correct. Whatever. We're having fun out here. I don't care to be good. This was a fun rebuild. Despite these weird salary cap, well, they're not weird, but despite the salary cap issues in the end, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.